even more than I knew before what I'm here to do. It was all part of the plan of preparing me to be able to help more people. Tomorrow starts tonight. This is one life. We are only here for a short time. I only have infinite number of opportunities. I only have an infinite number of moments to experience the wonder that is this life. And I'm not going to waste a moment of it any longer.
Good morning. How are we doing? Sorry. That video is just so beautiful. I love you guys so much. Thank you for everything. Oh man, it has been a wild ride. Holy, this past 3 years, like, man, it has been so good, so good. And it's been so life-changing and so powerful. And to come on here and to talk about riches and to talk about money and the impact that money can have on you if you allow it to truly come through you is so powerful. But I hope that you see, though, through that video, that it's not all rainbows and sunshine the entire time. That's not life. And life is cyclical. And it is full of seasons, and there is so much growth to be had. And if this is your first time on one of my trainings, I think that's a beautiful beginning to see just how much growth can happen in such a short time when you're willing to expand and grow and become a different version of yourself. I appreciate you guys so much. I am seeing some names that I have not seen for a while. It is so good to see you guys back. If you've been out of my energy for a little bit, I am changing, and I am changing fast. And you can see it physically for sure. I mean, watching that video made it very, very obvious just how much I'm changing physically. But it is a representation of the internal shifting that's happening, me becoming the best of myself. You're going to hear that language a lot. Daniel, I see you. I feel your energy. I'm so grateful for you. You're the first square right in the upper right-hand corner. And you're like my biggest cheerleader. It's so beautiful. And you're a man, which is so great because I got a lot of women. And I appreciate all the feminine energy. But when I have fans that are men too, it's so beautiful. I have had like 50% of my one-on-one coaching clients have been men, and they have transformed so incredibly well because they move into the feminine energy. They move out of the hustle and the grind, and they move into the love and the joy and the peace and the gratitude and the abundance, and they change their lives, and it's so special. So Daniel, special shout out for you. I appreciate you so much. And he has a book coming out soon, so please follow him. Anyways, is he gonna share? Okay, good. I believe in you. Oh man, whoa, I didn't know that was the name of it. Do you know that I came onto the Zoom this morning with my team and I said to them, I believe in them. I said, I believe in you. And I wanted every one of my team to know how much I believe in them. Yeah, I believe in you, absolutely. So here's the thing. We're gonna be together for the next 3 days. We are going to talk about riches, and we are going to talk about riches in terms of money, dollars, dollar bills, yes. But there's so much more to it. It's not just about wanting a certain amount of money and manifesting that one time in your life. This is about creating a version of yourself that creates sustained wealth. Somebody that learns how to, for the rest of their life, bring more money to and through them. This is going to be about how you can understand that you are a vessel for God's work, and you are paid through riches. You are paid through exchange. And so that exchange might be money, but that exchange might be service. That exchange might be gratitude. It might be giving. It might be philanthropy. It might be your work that you do. And so it's so important to understand that we are here together because we are meant to help each other to rise, to become the best of yourself, and to really experience life in a beautiful way. So we operate on 3 planes. We operate on the spiritual plane, the intellectual plane, and the physical plane. But a lot of us think that it's all about the physical, that it's about how hard we work, how many hours that we put in. Some of us think that it's about our mindset. If we just fix our mindset and we remove limiting beliefs, that things will forever change. And yes, they can. But when you operate from a spiritual place, in spirit, and that's what you felt in that video and the emotion coming through me when I started, that's because I am connected to my oneness in this moment. And I can feel through every ounce of my being that this is what I am meant to do. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be teaching. And that's why it just comes through so effortlessly for me, and why I love it so much. And it brings me so much joy is because it is my purpose. And sometimes I look back and I think to myself, like, geez, how come I was able to quantum leap my life so fast? I don't think I've ever met anyone that has manifested the amount of money that I've manifested in the short amount of time that I've manifested it. And so then I'm always asking, and I remember asking Bob one day at his studio, why me, Bob? Like, what did I do differently? Like, tell me, because I want to help everybody to make 20 something mil in 3 years. And he said, Kathleen, it was your ability to embody the information. He didn't use the word embody, he used the word internalize. But for me, I couldn't grasp that word as well. What do you mean internalize? But when I was driving home from his studio, the word embodiment came through me. I embody it. I literally have become this. I live my life according to this. Even 2 of my team members, Shannon and Deborah, were here on the weekend, and Shannon was like, Kathleen really is like chill. Like, she really is like just relaxing. Like, she really is just in a state of flow. Like, it's not something I put on and turn off. Like, I'm not hustling all night long and then coming on here and pretending I'm relaxed all day. Like, I love my life and I want to create a really powerful life, but I have a desire to then teach you all how to do that. And so through Riches, through this 3 days, I'm going to teach you how to do that in my way. And my way involves the feminine and the masculine, the spirit, the mechanical. It involves the highs and the lows, guys. It's a law of rhythm. So there will be moments where you feel amazing and there will be other moments where you don't. But we're here for you through all of it. And I want you to know that. So first of all, I just want to shout out anybody that is a member of the Diamond Academy family. So I know there's several of you on here, past or present. So what I mean by that is anybody that's part of our Diamond Academy family, or any of you that are in any of our energy, any of our courses, our programs. So if you're in Millionaire, if you're in Modern Mentor, if you're in my mastermind or one-on-one coaching client, I just want to celebrate you and honor you. And I'm so happy to see you on here and continuing to grow. It makes me so proud to see everything that you guys are accomplishing. It's really beautiful. I also want to just point your attention to my team. So if my team can please raise their hands, so that'll move them to the top of the screen. So I cannot run a 8-figure coaching academy all by myself. It's not possible. I really need people that believe in what I do, that believe in my vision and my mission, and who are willing to get uncomfortable for the sake of others. So these names that you're seeing are all members of the Diamond Academy team. So we are on meetings together. We have retreats together. We're going to Los Angeles, California in April together. So we're really, really excited. Most of them have earned a beautiful mastermind with me. It has just been an incredible journey. So I want to highlight every single one of these for you, these beautiful women for you, so you can really see that we are here to support you. And so you you will have gotten an email from them. So every single one of them is here to support you. Make sure you have your Zoom links. Make sure you get the homework. Make sure that if you're having any questions or you require any clarity, they're here to support you. We have 4,000 people registered for this event. and it's growing. It always does the day of. 4,000 people. And so what we see is there's those that come on live, which I call the ones that come on live. I call them like those that are real serious. Like if you're on here live, you're serious about your growth, you're serious and you're committed. Not to say if you're watching the replay and you're not serious and committed, you maybe had an obligation. But then the next level of people I see are those that then watch through the replay. So we will have a lot of people watch this replay after and go through the material. So those of you that are on the call, you get the first chance to be able to connect in with my team before their calendars fully build up. So they're here to support you, but they only have so much time. So if you haven't connected with them, if you haven't chatted, please do so and get it in the calendars before it books up, because the next week will be insane for them. So don't forget to chat with them. If you have questions after the session, you can send the questions to them as well, because I'm not going to be able to answer every single one of your questions. Day 3, I'll answer some, but that's probably as far as I'm going to get is going to be on day 3. Last time what I did too is I did a Q&A on Instagram, probably a week after the event, which was super helpful. Everybody had a chance to step back and be like, okay, I've been thinking about this, Kathleen, tell me about it. So I'll let you know when that is, but just follow me on Instagram, please, so that you can follow along and see when that Q&A might be. Sound good? So what are we doing for the next 3 days? We are going to be on here from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Saturday is my favorite day. And the reason why Saturday is my favorite day is because it's the weekend and I get my matcha ready and I get in my comfy clothes and we have a chat. So right now I'm kind of talking more to you because there's so many of you on, but on Saturday, we will have a conversation. So Saturday is when we will answer questions. Saturday is when we will also do a guided money visualization. So we're going to do some work over the next 3 days. We're going to talk about identity and self-concept. And then on Saturday, I will guide you through a visualization to your wealthiest self. So you got to come on for that because it's really, really powerful. And then we have had 2 giveaways. If you haven't heard about this, we've had 2 giveaways ongoing. And the first giveaway was for anybody who wanted to share about this training. So we've had a bunch of people sign up for affiliate links and have been sharing. I just want to shout out Trey Sean. She has promoted this and advertised this in such a beautiful way. And we've had so many people come through. I don't even know how many, I'm sure she knows, but I just want to tell you how grateful we are for you. So we're going to leave that opportunity open for a little bit longer, but the person that has brought in the most will get a one-on-one coaching call with me. So Trey Sean's in the lead, I'm pretty sure. So stay the course, girlfriend. And then I thought, okay, so what else can I do for those to celebrate those that are committed, not just interested, right? So when you're committed to something, you'll do whatever it takes. When you're interested, you'll do what's convenient. So if I have time, if it feels good, you know? And so I wanted to really celebrate and acknowledge those that are committed, not just interested. So on Saturday, on day 3, VIP day, I will also give out one more one-on-one coaching call with me to someone who is on live. So let me know if you plan to be on live. Persistence is the key to success. I can tell you right now, I am probably one of the most persistent women you will ever meet. And you know how I know this? Because my daughter Reagan is. She was so persistent yesterday. She's 8 years old. She was so persistent yesterday that she wanted a baby brother that I did not stop hearing about it until she left for school. And then I'm sure she got home to her dad's and was going on about it over there. But she's a reflection. And it's really beautiful to watch, actually. So when you're persistent, there's no failure. When you're persistent, you get everything you want because you know that it's inevitable. Do you believe that your success is inevitable? Do you believe that you becoming your healthiest, wealthiest version is inevitable? That's where we want to be, the inevitability of it. And so that's persistence. So I say this because if you can persist through these 3 days, you'll be transformed. I got a beautiful book in the mail. And I don't have it with me right now. I left it in the kitchen from somebody that attended one of my live events. I don't know if she's on, Katie, if she's on here. She attended one of my live events last year. And it was a free event called Ignite Your Calling. And it led to the realization of this book. Are you on? Am I seeing her in the chat? Hold on. You're here. Oh, girl. I didn't get a chance to message you yet because I just got it. But she says in the book, and maybe you want to say it in the chat, but she says in the book just how much a 3-day free live event like this changed her. And I just felt so honored. And Deborah was at my house when we got the book, and we just reflected, and we were like, oh, see how important what we're doing is? See how important this is? It's so incredibly important. And so I'm proud of you, Katie. That book is amazing. I can't wait to read it. And I'm grateful for you sending it to me. Thank you. And for coming on to that training and allowing yourself to be open to be transformed. That's so important. I'm so glad you're on. Yay. Okay. So last thing that I want to talk about, and what I just want us to do really, really quick, because I want us all to set an intention. So intention setting is very, very powerful and very, very important. What we intend is what our focus goes to, is what will then grow. So before we really get started on talking about wealth and riches and money and the good life and all those things, I want you to all set an intention of what you intend to do over the next 3 days. So that intention might be a level of growth in yourself. That intention might be that you're going to go into it with an open mind. The intention might be that you're going to step into your wealthiest version. Your intention might be that you're going to do all 3 days. Intention might be that you're going to do the homework. Like whatever that intention is for you, I want you to write it down in your notebook on a piece of paper in front of you right now, so it's super crisp and clear. I'm grateful for you too, Katie. You're such a special, special girl. So beautiful. Okay, so who's brave enough to put their intention in the, oh, Suzanne already. Who's brave enough to put their intention in the chat? I intend to remember who I am. Steph, I'm going to talk about that. My intention is to fully embrace the version of myself that can hold massive amounts of wealth with ease. Leslie, beautiful. The ability to hold wealth. That is an important conversation. I'm a self-made millionaire. Do the homework. Beautiful. Reset my mindset. Turn yeah, this is good. This is so good. These are amazing, 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 amazing intentions. I love this. Everything you intend will happen, will be accomplished. Trust me. Trust me. Everything I write down happens. Everything I write down happens. Everything I ask for, I receive. I say my personal trainer, okay? So personal trainer, for me, like hiring a personal trainer was outside of a past version of myself, because a past version of myself hated the gym, hated to work out, hated exercise. And so I've been really, really working on this. You know, what would I love to have a personal trainer and to enjoy the sessions and love the sessions? And so I created a belief for my sessions with him. I can do anything you tell me to do. That's what I said to him about 3 sessions ago, because he's starting to turn it up a notch and I'm starting to feel the difference. I can do more. I'm stronger. My body's really, really changing. And so I can feel him starting to have me do more things that aren't comfortable. And so I said, well, what belief is going to serve me best? That I can do anything you tell me to do. Everything, I can do it. And so I say it to him at the beginning of our sessions. Every single time now. I can do anything you tell me to do. Remember, this is what we're going in. And I'm telling myself that as I go into this. My intention is my mindset as a millionaire. So this is powerful. And I want us to consider this word millionaire. So there are some beliefs and some connotations around the word millionaire. And we feel like we have to have millions of dollars to be able to say it. And I just want to ask you why that is. Why do you think you need $1 million in your bank account to say you're a millionaire? Because you believe that being a millionaire is about the dollars that you have in your life. But being a millionaire is an identity. It's a frequency of vibration. It's a way of seeing yourself. Think about this. We ask, how are you doing today? How do you feel today? And you say like $1 million. You're not saying literally, I feel like dollar bills, money. You're saying, I feel like somebody that would have $1 million, right? So why do we want $1 million? Why do we want to become a millionaire? Because of the experience of life that we feel we will have at that point. We feel like we will be happier and calmer and less stressed, and that we will have more freedom and we can buy whatever the heck we want. We'll have no worries in the world. If you think that that's going to happen, I want you to really step back. Money does not fix everything. Money does not get rid of the law of rhythm. It doesn't get rid of the turbulence of life. It doesn't rid you of your self-doubt thoughts. It doesn't rid you of fear. It doesn't rid you of your beliefs that you have about your body or your flaws. It doesn't fix all your relationships. It's an amplifier. It might make you feel a little calmer for a little while, but then you just want more money, and then you just go back to feeling like you don't have enough. So what I really want us to embrace during this training is the idea that I want to be rich. All areas of my life rich. So I want rich in my bank account. I want rich relationships. I want richness in my self-love. I want a rich experience of life. I want richness in how I show up every single day, everything. So it's about wholeness, and it's creating an experience of life that you love and enjoy, and helping to create an experience of life for our legacies that we are leaving behind. I am a mother of 2 beautiful girls, Mason and Reagan. They're 8 and 10. And I use the hashtag doing it for my girls, because I want them to start off up here thinking. I started off down here. I want them to start up here, so then they can just go up from there. So I want them to go into high school, junior high, believing in themselves and being strong and confident, and knowing that they're in the service of others. And I want them to be grateful, and I want them to give love even when they're being given something else. You know, how can we send to that person that was mean to us love? This is a different way of being. It's a different way of existing. Being in spirit and being in love is so incredibly important. I don't mean in love with one person. I mean in love in general, the feeling of love all around us. So we're going to do some interviews today. You're going to talk to a couple of different people that are studying with me, and talk about how they've shifted and some of their beliefs, maybe where they were before, where they are now. And then after we do that, I'm going to talk about your concept of yourself and how to create the richest or wealthiest version of yourself. And here's the real fun part, is that that version of you already exists. We're not becoming someone else. We're not, going to be reprogramming our subconscious mind in like these mechanical ways. I actually want you to see that you're already that version. You're just limiting yourself through your own thinking. You're just keeping the money away. Abundance and prosperity is our natural state. I believe that to be true. We are meant to be abundant and prosperous. We are not meant to be living in impoverished ways. We are not meant to be living in lack and limitation. We are not supposed to be worrying about money. We are supposed to be using it to help us. Instead, we fight it. Instead, we fear it. And instead, we push it away. So tomorrow we're going to talk about fear. Today, we're going to talk about our self-concept. What you will hear from me too, over the course of these couple of days. And of course, I have to talk about it because it's starting to really come into fruition. But my second book will be coming out this year, and it's called The Best of Yourself. And the reason I chose to call it The Best of Yourself is because I don't see us as becoming a higher level version or a next level version or a future version or whatever else. I actually see us just allowing the best of ourselves to shine through. And so when I think about the best of myself, I step back and I ask, like, who am I when I am the best of myself? I am living in love and gratitude and compassion. I am living in joy and in service. I am leading with love. I have a loving perspective. I have absolute faith and belief in myself. I truly do believe that I'm here to impact people. But the best of myself is also somebody that lives a really great life. I actually wrote on the top of my page when I started this journey in 2020, I wrote my extraordinary life. I want an extraordinary life. That's what I asked for. So if you want an ordinary life, then maybe that's what you have right now, and that's okay. But I have a feeling if you've come onto this training that you want more out of life. You want a different human experience, and maybe you want an extraordinary life. So what is your extraordinary life? Can we start without money? Let me tell you something, girlfriend. I started my journey in September of 2019, $10,000 in like consumer debt, not talking about the cars and the house. Okay, 10,000 in consumer debt. Then I launched my coaching business, invested another 42,000. I started my journey January 2020, launching my business from scratch, from zero, alone by myself, in $50,000 debt. Okay, so this was like a line of credit and credit cards, $50,000 in debt. And I sit here today, not even 3 years, it's like 3 years and a bit later. Diamond Academy isn't even 3 years old. We turned 3 in July. And I've moved the energy of, it's probably 25 million now. So do you need money to start? No, you don't. You know what you do need? A desire for more. You need to absolutely want something different for yourself and be willing to do whatever it takes in the pursuit of it. I am a very driven woman. I say this all the time because I believe it. And anytime I feel myself waver, something happens and it's like, oh, maybe that's not going to happen for me, I remind myself, Kathleen, you are a very driven woman. I go after what I want. Absolutely go after it. I am bold in the pursuit of what I desire. I am not afraid of failure because I don't actually think it even exists or it's even possible. Feel this energy, the way I'm speaking? I built this. This is not how I was 3 years ago. 3.5 years ago, before I started studying this material and before I met Bob Proctor, I didn't even believe that I would get a promotion at my job. I didn't even see that I'd make more than $97,000 a year. I didn't see past where I was. We just downsized into a smaller home. I quit my nursing career. I was sick for a while there. I even gave up in the idea of being healthy. I've experienced severe postpartum depression. I've been in places in my life where I didn't even think life was worth living. And now I sit here in a place right now where every moment I am grateful for. Every single moment, I do not give up on myself and I move forward. It is about expansion, absolute expansion. And here's the thing, not a lot of people are like this. Not a lot of people are willing to create a concept of themselves and a belief about themselves so bold, so daring, so confident that they just go for it, and they just go for it beautifully. But here's the thing. Our community, this is what our community is. So everybody here is doing that. Everybody that's attracted to me and my energy and my community and joins Diamond Academy is like that. We are all building a belief in ourselves that we are capable. Are we brainwashing? Yes, we are. We are brainwashing the heck out of ourselves to believe that we are powerful, rich, abundant, selfless, grateful. We are convincing ourselves that we can have it all. And then guess what? We're getting it all. So yes, we're going to help you to convince yourself that you're incredible and amazing. And the way that it is going to impact you, you have no idea. You have no idea. Jenna Petrinka, are you on here? Where are you, girlfriend? I want to bring you up. Take yourself off mute so it'll bring you up. I want to talk about what you did on the weekend. There you are. Hold on. I'm going to pin you. Oh, you went away now. Somebody on my team find Jenna. There she is. Okay, I'm going to unmute you. So I just want to preface this by saying Jenna is amazing. And Jenna has been in my energy since the very beginning. So when I first started my coaching business in early 2020, she believed in me. And she saw something in me and what I was doing and enrolled in one of my programs. She was one of the first batch of students to enroll in one of my programs. But what she did that was even more profound was believe in herself. And she is still here and she is still growing and she has expanded so much. But on the weekend, she decided to get a bunch of millionaire students together for a millionaire retreat. They organized it themselves. They rented an Airbnb, a private chef, hair and makeup, took photos, and poured into each other for 2 days. And I got the beautiful pleasure of surprising them all because they did not know I was coming. And so I got to, with two of my team members, with Deborah and Shannon, and we got to surprise them. But Jenna, I want to know from your perspective, I know mine, but having been there with everybody for the 2 days, what was this weekend like?
Lit up. It was just, there are no words. I could say all the words and you'll never be able to feel the feeling of until you do it. It was life-changing. And there's no way to describe it, because you get put into this room with all these people that you kind of know a little bit, and then you learn and you talk and you grow and you feed off of each other's energy and you build yourself up. And we put ourselves in this. It started from a little idea that it just exploded, and we ended up physically putting our bodies in the feeling that you see in your 4D, and then you're able to hold on to that and draw from that and pull from that, and there's no going back down.
Yeah. I just want to say to Michelle Bridge, so sad I missed it. Girlfriend, no. That's not how we think forward. How we think forward is by saying, I can't wait to be at the next one. Yeah. That's the energy. See the difference between I'm sad I missed something and I'm so excited to be at the next one. Two completely different vibrations, just like that. So if anybody is feeling that FOMO right now, just can't wait to be at the next one. That's how you move it. The reason that I brought Jenna up was because as I'm talking about myself and I'm talking about how driven I am, and I'm bold in the pursuit of my desires, and I'm going for it, and I believe in myself, and I'm talking like this, that is exactly how every one of those women at that dinner table on Saturday night felt. That's how every single one of their energies was. We had a lot of tears, okay, you guys? There was a lot of crying, I know. It's so good. But the tears were pride. The tears were gratitude, the tears were joy, and the tears were love. And that's the most important thing, is that we are coming together to help each other to become the best of ourselves and to change this world. Like this type of energy, this type of influence, it is life-changing, because now every single one of you is going to go home after this, if you're not at home now, or you're going to walk into your other room, and you're going to be different to your family. You're going to be different to your friends. Your relationships are going to change. You're going to cause a ripple effect of all of the people around you to help them to become better too. And then we all start living in love more often. We start living in joy more often, in gratitude more often, and we will start living in abundance and prosperity more often. It is right there and available, right, Jenna?
It absolutely is. It is. And I think one of the best parts about all of this was that now we have even closer connections, and any one of us at any time can just say, hey, build me up, and we will.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. And there is some beautiful impact that's going to come up about this. How do we find out about retreats? Oh man, I got a retreat.
Girl.
Yeah. I have a retreat that's going to be coming up in the fall, in October. It's going to be a formal Rise with Kathleen Cameron retreat. So stay tuned for that. We can talk a little bit about that stuff actually on day 3. So if you're asking anything about like what's millionaire, what are you guys talking about, and the retreats and stuff like that, we'll talk about it on Saturday. So hang tight. Jenna, I appreciate you. I'm so proud of your growth and the way that you're just showing up. You're not on my team, but like you are acting.
Oh, I am.
You are. Oh man, I love this. See, she's living from the end. She actually said to me, I said, are you going to be on today if I want to randomly bring you up? And she's like, well, everything you write down happens, doesn't it? She literally wrote it down, and then I had the feeling to bring her up. So see how things happen. This is the energy around it. Jenna, I love you, girl. Thank you. I want to talk about money real quick before we get into identity around money. I just want to really level this out about what money is, because I teach a course called Wealth from Within. I'm not teaching it right now, so it's not available at this moment. It might be in the future, but the way that I teach Wealth from Within is really to reprogram the way in which you see money and how you believe money is. So I used to say that money is energy. Money is energy. And that made sense to me for a little while, and I could kind of resonate with it a bit. Yes, Jessica. No, I don't believe money's energy. If you think about it, like there's an energetic component to money, yes, because it's an exchange. So I pay for something in the energy of money and I receive back something in the energy of service. So if I go for a massage, I pay with money and I get a massage back. So two different kinds of energy, but there is an energetic exchange. But money itself, the thing, it's a human creation, but it is a spiritual idea. This is what I believe to be true. It is a spiritual idea. Money is the way in which humans came up with to exchange value and goods and services, but it is the way in which God's work is done. So it is a spiritual idea. Whether you resonate with the word God, universe, spirit, source, creator, you decide what you believe to be true. But what I am talking about is a higher power. What I am talking about is a oneness. It is an energy that flows to and through you. It is a creative power. And it is the thing that will help you to build the life that you absolutely desire without having to do it alone. And so when I say I'm in spirit, that's what I mean. I'm feeling my connection and my oneness to God. I wasn't someone that would resonate with the word God a few years ago, even 2 years ago, probably. I would say universe, or I would say spirit. But now I do believe that what I believe to be true, my version of God, is what helps guide me in my life and my pursuit of abundance and prosperity and freedom. So you believe whatever you believe and what you feel called to. Nobody's trying to get anybody to believe what we believe. You believe what you believe. And I think that there's a difference between organized religion and spirituality. And I think you can be a part of organized religion and still be very spiritual. So I think that there's a beautiful synergy in talking about God in multiple different ways. So whatever works for you. But what I mean by that, and there's a beautiful book, it's very tiny, it's called Money is God in Action. It's so good. Yeah. And so it's tiny little PDF. I think I might even have it right here, actually. Yeah, I do. Money is God in Action. Just got it on Amazon, right? But it's so beautiful. Raymond Charles Barker. And the reason why I love that so much is because if you think about money, oh, did you just put the PDF, Daniel? Look at you. You're hired. He's so good. So if you think about money, though, money is God in action. I think about Jamie Kern Lima. Jamie Kern Lima is an author, and she was the creator of It Cosmetics, and she sold It Cosmetics for $1 billion to like L'Oreal or something. And after she received that $1 billion, she donated half of it to female empowerment centers across the US. And so her growth, her success, her stepping into the best of herself, becoming an abundant and prosperous version of herself beyond what I can even fathom right now, honestly, like $1 billion, like that's amazing. So actually I can fathom it and I can relate to it. I'm just not physically there yet, but I'm coming to her. But anyways, but she stepped into and tapped into a version of herself beyond anything she'd experienced before. And she was able to donate all of that money across these organizations, God's work. So anytime that you're like, but I don't know if what I do is changing the world, the more you step up into the most powerful version of yourselves, the more you change the world. It's inevitable, no matter what it is that you do. Whether you are a coach or a mentor or an author or in real estate or in network marketing, or you own a marketing agency or you're an artist, you are here to make a difference and to create a ripple in this world. And you do that by tapping into your abundant self. You do that by allowing yourself to receive more money in your life. And if you are not making any more money than you did last year or the year before that, You are not open to receive. You're open to receive what you have, but you are not open to receive more. And it's beautiful clarity. It's beautiful awareness. And it's a beautiful place to get started at. So here's the thing. Somebody on my team, if you guys can, if maybe Jen or Casey, can you guys just copy any questions that come through? And we can save those questions for Saturday, because there's a couple in here that have been really great. I'm just not going to be able to get to them today. That would be helpful. Thank you. So the thing is with money, though, is that there is an experience that money can give you and a way of being that money can give you. But if you wait to become that version of yourself once the money is here, you're going to be waiting forever, because that's not how it works. How it works is that you become comfortable with money and money becomes comfortable coming to you. You spend money with ease and money comes to you with ease. Bob Proctor used to always say, if you have a hard time spending money, you will have a hard time making money. It's that easy. Interesting. And so then there's some people on here who are going to be like, well, I love to spend money. I have no problem spending money. Okay, but tell me about all your other thoughts and stories around money. Are you constantly saying that you don't have it, that you need more of it? Are you continuing to make the same amount so you spend it, but then you don't make any more than what you spend? How often do you invest? I mean, we can go deep into it. But how you see money and how you behave around money is what's creating your experience with money. I want to delineate one thing, and I don't think I have ever pulled up my whiteboard on a training like this, but you're getting it today because I think this is important. Okay, can you guys see my whiteboard? Do you also see my vision board? A bit of my vision board too, or you just see the whiteboard? Just the whiteboard? Okay, that's good. So there are frequencies of vibration. Have any of you heard this before? Just the whiteboard. Okay, good. Well, you would just be seeing my vision board, which is the Maldives, a Porsche 911 Carrera, a private jet, a beautiful pink couch. You know, that's my vision board. I got to update it. I got to put my house in Malibu on there. Okay, so these are frequencies of vibration. So we are all operating on frequencies of vibration. But I think we get a bit confused because there is a difference between being high vibe and operating on the frequency of wealth. So let's say down here that you are someone that makes $5,000 a month income. Hold on, here we go. So let's say you're down here and you make 5K a month. And you every single month make 5K. You are programmed and set, your identity, the concept that you hold of yourself is set to $5,000 a month. How do I know? Because you keep making it. So if you're 3,000, 2,000, same thing. So when I started this journey in September of 2019, I was programmed to make $3,000 to $3,500 a month. Sometimes would go a little bit more, but on average, it was $3,500 a month. So that's the frequency of vibration that you are operating on. That is where your self-concept is, your identity, the way you see yourself is there. So then guess what happens is that you start studying and maybe you read a book and maybe you start watching some YouTube videos and maybe you go to a 4-day event somewhere and you have this incredible time. And so you start to feel really good. So you feel happy, you feel excited. You're like, wow. So maybe before you start doing all that, you're vibrating like this, low and slow. So maybe before you got inspired, you were feeling a bit sad or underwhelmed, or maybe you were bored in your life, or you didn't think you were good enough, or you didn't think you were worthy, and all of those things. So you're vibrating low and slow, maybe a sad, bored, uninspired vibration. Then you start studying and you start coming onto trainings and you start to get excited and you start to believe in yourself and you start to get happy and you start to get grateful and you start to get lit up and you're inspired, you're in spirit. Then you vibrate like this. So, wow, I am feeling good. I'm lit up. I am excited, etc., etc. So your point of attraction has shifted. So you will attract different things. Yes. When you're attracting low and slow and you're sad and you're feeling negative and you have negative thoughts and you feel unworthy, you will attract a vibrational match to you of that. So you will attract more experiences that are underwhelming, that are sad, that are uninspired. You will likely meet people in your life that don't believe in themselves, that are uninspired, that are sad, because like attracts like. So then you get excited and you start to study and you start to grow and you start to meet new people and you come onto a training like this and bam, your vibration changes. And so you start to attract different things. You might attract business opportunities and people that are really nice and kind and people that are inspired and all of these things. And so even coming onto this training might be part of that. You might be starting to feel more high vibe. And so you're like, yeah, I want to go on to a training like this. But what I see time and time again, and this is where I want us to see the difference here, is that you can be high vibe and still be operate on the frequency of vibration of 5K a month. Being high vibe or being happy does not take you to a new frequency of vibration in terms of the concept of your wealthiest self. So you can still be happy and grateful and joyful, but have thoughts of limitation and of lack, and have limiting beliefs around money, and be resistive to more money. So I'm really happy. I'm really excited. I love life. This is so great, but money is not coming to me. So this is where what we want to do is we want to help you. So let's say this is 100K a month. And from where you sit, from your perspective, that might be a lot of money or it could be not a lot of money. To me, 100K a month, not a lot of money. To some of you, it's a lot of money. That used to be a lot of money for me. I used to believe that was a lot of money. And then I changed my belief around it and I started to see it as a small amount of money. And then I made that amount of money, but not until I made it feel small. So now what we want to do is we want to take you from this 5K frequency of vibration. We want you to become high vibe and we want you to raise up the levels. So then we get you on here. See that? See the difference? Let's not just be excited. Let's not just be inspired. Let's not just take a bunch of information and put it into our bodies and not do anything with it. Let's change the way in which we see ourselves. Let's change the way in which we think, feel, and behave. I intend to make 24K per month within the next 60 days. So that version of you, Gina, 24,000 per month within the next 60 days. Who is she? How does she think? How does she feel? And how does she behave? Yeah. So this is what we're going to talk about. I'm going to do a couple interviews and then we're going to talk about that. Does this make sense? Do you need me to explain this further? We get it. We want to operate on the frequency. So this frequency of vibration, the 100K, in order to tune into that, it requires you to become a different version of yourself. So I just mentioned my vision board to you guys. One of the things with vision boards is that they're a wonderful tool. They give you clarity. They help you to understand what you're creating. They're like your grocery list of what you desire and what you want to have in your life. But what happens over and over and over again is that we stay the same version of ourselves with the same limiting beliefs, and we stare at a vision board. No. Who do I need to be to live the life that's on the vision board? Who do I need to be? This is the key. I became a completely different woman, and every time I transform, my outside world transforms. Every single time. I change inside, my outside changes. Subjective control, not objective control. What you see in your 3D physical world is an illusion. You give it meaning, and then the meaning gives you a feeling. What does this say? What does that say? Illusion? Does it? Oh my gosh, wow. You and we're energetically entangled, Daniel. But it is, because it's our perception of it. We see it a certain way, we give it meaning, we make that our reality. And so you don't have to, your life doesn't have to mean what you want it to mean right now. And so let's ignore what we see. Let's ignore the dollars in our bank accounts, and let's move over to the place where we are abundant and prosperous, where we have whatever it is that we desire. Teresa, we're going to talk about that after these interviews. Don't worry. Yeah. Okay. So first interview, we have Jessica. Is she here? Is Jessica on? Can't wait to chat with you. Hello, beautiful. How are you doing?
Amazing.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you and kind of maybe where you were before you embarked on this personal growth and development journey?
Sure. So I would say, hi, my name is Jessica. But when I started with Diamond Academy, I felt like an incredibly burnt out stay-at-home mom. And I knew I was supposed to be grateful, and I had many things in my life to be grateful for, but I just wasn't feeling it. And I was very much living in my physical 3D world, in my environment. And it was a place of everything was happening to me, nothing was happening for me. And it wasn't exciting at all. So when I joined Diamond Academy, one of the first things on my first call that I actually wrote is, I want to be on one of Kathleen's calls, like be interviewed. Never did anything with it, never knew how to do it. And here I am.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And so many things have changed. And I heard this saying, when I was on one of Bob's live events, I think it was like one of his mind shift things. And he talked about like how your life can completely change in a year. And I was like, okay, I hear that. Is it? Yeah, it really does. So I joined Diamond Academy in January of 2022, and literally my life has transformed. I don't live in my physical world, even when contrast goes on around me. I remind myself, nope, I can stay in my own energy. I don't have to absorb the energy of, things that are going on around me. And I launched my own fertility mind business where I coach women that are going through fertility. And that has been so amazing. I get really emotional when I talk about it because I wish I had this when I went through my own fertility treatments. And that was just something that lit me up, that I could do this for people. I co-authored a book. I launched a website. I launched a podcast. So much literally changed because I changed my belief in myself. And one of the most amazing things that Kathleen said in her morning trainings was like, that's your belief though. And I remember I asked a simple question and she's just like, but that's what you believe. And I thought, no, it's not. It really was exactly what I was believing. And I used to feel so guilty spending money on myself. I always spent it on my kids first, or my husband's business, because that was the main stream of income coming in. And things have changed so differently now. And it feels like I started writing down things that I wanted to manifest in my life, and I'm starting to check them off. And it was so different from being in that place of nothing's working out for me to holy crap, when you actually listen and study, it changes so much. And I've been on TV, which is something I never thought I would do ever. And now I'm manifesting, more TV interviews and other things. And I thought, this stay-at-home mom didn't have a vision, and now I do.
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know you were on TV too. I try to keep up with everybody, but it's not so easy. I think this is so beautiful, Jessica. And I do remember when you first enrolled with us, when you first joined Diamond Academy. And I know that it wasn't at that moment, it didn't feel like the easiest decision. I remember we chatted with your hubby about a couple things too. So What do you think it was within you that allowed you to say, I'm ready to be her? Like, I'm ready to move forward. What was that for you?
I think it was just, I don't have to be the title I give myself. I was living in the title, I'm a stay-at-home mom. And I was holding the belief that when my kids go, they're school age, that they go to school full time, that I can focus on things that I wanted. But it was just understanding. I felt guilty spending money because my husband was the income earner. And I thought, I don't need to feel this way. And I felt guilty that I loved being a stay-at-home mom, but I still wanted more. And I changed the belief, and I thought I can still have time flexibility for my kids, but still be the woman that I want to be and show up. And that was really empowering for me. It was changing the belief that I can only be in this box. And I thought, who wants to put themselves in a box and stay there? So go ahead.
I just resonate with that so much because I think back to my life before, and I remember resonating with, I'm a nurse, I'm a nurse, I'm a nurse. And I used to say that all the time, even when I got promoted up into director level positions and I worked for the provincial government and I was actually not nursing at all anymore. I was like a leader and a manager and in meetings and stuff. I still identified as a nurse. And it's so interesting how like the ways in which we identify ourselves continue to perpetuate in our lives, and we don't allow ourselves to really step up into. So what are some of the titles that you use to describe yourself now?
I'm powerful. I change the world, and I am the best version of me, which wears many hats of I am the best mom. I am the best wife. I am the best stepmom. And I truly just love living life to its fullest. And, in your video, when you said you were here just for a moment, I got teary-eyed because I thought we really are here for this small amount of a moment. And I look back at where I was living life before. I don't regret it because that girl, she got me here. She went through some things and said, enough is enough. I want more. So, but I don't want to spend the rest of my life living in that small box, playing small, just doing what I should do to get by.
And I often ask the question, like, what do we have to lose?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No. Like, even if we run boldly in the direction of everything that we want and we're fearless and we're in absolute faith and we just like go for it, what is the worst case scenario?
You go down a different path and it's still going to be amazing.
I know. So there really is no downside. Like it's not possible. And especially the more confident you get, the more powerful, the more you believe in yourself, the easier things will get. I make decisions these days that the old me would quiver needing to make these decisions around spending money and like business things, and now it's like, nah, we're doing that all in, let's go. Like it feels so beautiful because I have built a belief in a version of myself that is unshakable. And I feel that in you. I would also say, Jessica, too, that you are a high-level businesswoman. And I would also say, too, that you are the most powerful fertility coach that I've ever met. Different statements like that, like allow yourself to rise up into those things. So if anybody feels called to say some empowering titles for themselves, please do so in the chat if you're feeling inspired. Jessica, I appreciate you. I'm so excited. I absolutely loved the book that you guys wrote. They asked me to write the foreword because all four of them were Diamond Academy family members. So they all took a program together and they met one another and created a beautiful book that is changing the world. And so I'm grateful to have written that foreword, and I'm grateful that you guys allowed me to be part of the vehicle in which you are changing the world. So I'm really grateful. And is anybody else from that book on here? I don't know. Anyway, if any of the other girls are on, please let us know in the chat that you're also the author. Do you want to put the name of the book? Let everybody know the name of your book.
Yeah, sure. And thank you for having me. And honestly, Kathleen, for anyone that's on here, Kathleen is such a beautiful energy, and meeting her in January 2022 to seeing her now, she really, when she says she is changing, she is changing. I don't even know how it's possible, because the energy it is worth it. It is, I didn't have the money to invest in the programs, and I found the money, and it has been worth every penny that, just do it. Absolutely just do it.
You're so sweet. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I look back at my transformation this past year. For those I haven't I don't know if I've really talked about it too much publicly for anybody that this is your first time, but I got to the peak of my success in my business. I got up to making consistently over $1 million a month. We did do almost a $2 million month, and I was on the doctors had me on as a guest, and I was really just flourishing. I had something in Forbes magazine, and all these beautiful things were happening. And then I got sick with pneumonia and had to have lung surgery. And I was in the ICU, and I had a chest tube, and they said that my body saved me. This body that I hated all my life, because I've always been a plus size woman. So I always was so hard on myself, believed that I was less than or flawed because I was in a bigger body. And it was that body that saved my life. And so since that time, I'm a different woman again now. And I didn't think that I could potentially be this different. Like, I thought I'd done a lot of work. So how could I be even more different? But I'm completely different. And it's really powerful, this work, really, really powerful. Thank you, Jessica, for coming on here. I appreciate you. I can't wait to watch you continue to soar and all this amazing work that you're doing. Reach out anytime, please, if you need anything. Okay. Thank you, lovely. And look at her manifesting. So beautiful. And then I want to bring up Haley. Is Haley on here? Haley, beautiful. How are you? Hold on. Let me unmute you. Oh,
hi. I'm doing so good. Thanks for having me.
Did you write down you were going to be interviewed on here too?
Yeah, I did. Yep. I was
Come
trying to
on.
look back at what date it was. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
I don't remember what date it was, but I said I'm going to be interviewed by Kathleen because that's what I wanted. Ask and you shall receive.
Everything we write down happens. I hold
Journaling is so powerful. I love to journal. Yes.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that to be true. So if there's anything you guys desire, write it down. I would love XYZ. Don't be attached to it, but I would love XYZ and allow it to come through. So tell us a little bit about before you and I got to know one another. Tell me about how you were feeling about yourself, about life, and where you were when you manifested.
So actually, oh my gosh. So I have been a recovering addict I've been sober for about 11 years, but I've been in the material for, about 20 years, but I never really understood it. And so I have been for the past 11 years on this journey of self-love. And I always felt like I needed permission from other people to love myself. And, I'm just really learning that is where all of this starts. And I had been, involved with the community it's been over 2 years now. And, I dip my toes in just a little bit, and then I'd go about and do whatever. But I was in a place before I started Diamond Academy that was really sad, really low and slow vibe. I was just really depressed and, was crying all the time, and just I surrendered, and I just said, I need help, and so that's when Jesse and Alana, reached out and said, let's get on a call. And I said, okay, and it was like getting on the call with Jesse and Alana, it just completely gave me the confidence to start truly loving myself and knowing my worth. And it was just perfect timing for what I needed. And about a year and a half ago, when you launched Millionaire, I was on that, those 3 days, and I had inspired action to write a book.
Ooh.
And it's a children's book. Okay. And let me just tell you, so day 3 of the manifestation times business thing that we just did, the paid event, day 3 was for me. I tell you what. So you said at one point in time on day 3 that we heal by feeling. Okay. It's called Feeling is Healing. And it is a book of affirmations for children and the child in us. Okay. So, but it's interactive. And so I want you to like doodle like on all the pages, but, and then I have, like artwork at the end, and there's like hidden dragonflies in all the art. It's so funny. And so I just was like, it was so much in alignment last year. And I just knew that this is where I needed to be. And I made the decision that I was going to become part of Millionaire, where before I'd always wanted to, but that doubt crept in.
Yeah.
And so, but I made the decision, I journaled about it and made it happen. So.
Ooh, that is so powerful. And for anybody,
yes,
the dragonfly thing, I just want to say real quick, in I think it was like November of 2021, maybe, I was in Miami and I did an event called Manifest, and we were so in spirit, and I was talking about the importance of spirit and God, universe, source, creator, and manifestation. And everybody was in spirit, and we were playing the song Spirit by Beyonce. It was so powerful. We were all together. Our consciousness, the collective consciousness, was so impactful. I felt myself just like a channel, like just straight up connected. And I look outside and there's thousands of dragonflies at my balcony only. I have a video of it because it was so profound. And so when you look up the dragonfly, it said something about like spiritual awakening and connection. Like it's so beautiful. So you got dragonflies in there. Where can we get the book? People are asking. Where do we get this?
So it'll be on Amazon. I don't know if it's on there yet. You can get it from the publisher, which is Durant's Publishing. But then it'll be in bookstores. It'll be on Amazon. It'll be everywhere. So yeah, it's really great.
Feeling is Healing is the title. Feeling
is Healing. It has a big sun on the front of it. I thought that was wonderful. And it's a book of affirmations for children and the child in us, because I really believe that it is our responsibility to create a positive internal monologue for our children to help build their confidence and love themselves. And so
I think that is absolutely brilliant. So what we'll do too, anything that we talk about over this training, any book links, any PDFs that are shared, anything like that, what we will do is we will share it all into the Manifested with Kathleen Cameron Facebook group. So Daniel, if you can post that PDF you shared earlier too in there, the Money is God in Action. Everything will be in that Facebook group, and you'll be able to find it in there. Does that sound good? So that you guys all know where to go. We'll even share our music. We'll share some of the songs and stuff that we play too. We always do that. Everybody's like, tell me your playlist. So we'll tell you the music too. So what's next for you, Haley?
I just have realized how powerful I am, and I'm manifesting things like left and right. And it's just so fabulous. And I have just chosen that, to be joyful in life. And I am starting like my own book. It's a spinoff of Feeling is Healing, but it's going to kind of be my story about where I've come from and where I'm going. And I feel like there is something else like really big out there that is being brought into my physical life right now. Ooh. And I don't know what it is quite yet, but it's there. So
I feel it. I can feel it. Energy. Yeah, that's really beautiful. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for manifesting coming on here.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm so thankful. Yes.
Yeah, I know. It's such a beautiful place to be able to come together and help one another to step into a higher level version. I'm going to talk about that in a minute.
Absolutely.
Higher level, but thank you, Haley. I appreciate you so much, and I'm going to be watching.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, beautiful.
Bye.
Oh, I love hearing these beautiful stories of people like coming into higher level versions of themselves and doing things to impact others in such a powerful way. It's really, really beautiful. When I say that there's higher levels of things, I mean like there's infinite higher levels of things. So there is an infinite degree of everything. So if we think about, if you're somebody who's grateful right now, there is a higher level of gratitude for you to experience. If you're someone that's living in love right now, there is a higher level of love for you to experience. If you are somebody who has self-love, there's a higher level of self-love for you to experience. It's infinite. So it's up to us then to uncover or to become aware of or manifest those higher levels. Money is the same thing. There is always a higher level of abundance available to you. There is a higher level of money that is available to you should you choose to be open to receive it. So how do you do that? How do you become a higher level version of your wealthiest self? So I love to do this exercise, and I done it during my Rise retreat, not specifically related to money, just in consciousness in general. But I want us to sit and do this for just 5 minutes together. I want you to put on your one side of your page, so put a line down the middle of your page, and on one side of your page, I want you to put me now. And then on the right side of the page or the left side, whichever one feels good for you, put my richest self, or just rich me, or wealthy me, whatever, or put millionaire or multimillionaire or billionaire. I can't say millionaire anymore. So Jenna made me, I got to the retreat Saturday. She had a beautiful gift for me. It's a beautiful glass that says billionaire. Okay, I'll take it. So good. So there's always higher levels. But what I'm doing right now with this page is I'm getting you to see the difference between who you see yourself as today. Notice that I said how you see yourself today, not who you are, because who you are is who you think you are. It's not really who you are. It's just a decision that you've made to see yourself in this way. So start putting some words down that describe who you are today and how you see yourself today, not just related to money, but just how you see yourself today. And then once you've got a bunch of different things, you can go to the other side and you can fill in the opposite, right? So you might say then, oh, what's going on with my Zoom? You might say something like, okay, in terms of money, how do I identify myself? Okay, right now. Would you say you're wealthy? Like, would you call yourself wealthy right now? Or would you say you're moderately wealthy? Or would you say you're middle class? Would you say that you have a bit of money? Or would you say that you are poor? What is the language that you would use to describe yourself right now? And so think of other words too. It doesn't have to just be related to money. Like, are you somebody that is scrambling to pay your bills, or are you somebody that pays your bills with gratitude and with love? This is going to be important. We're having you pull out the identity of the way in which you see yourself right now. Okay. Drowning in debt. Write that down. Brilliant. Struggling. Okay. Write that down. This is important. It's not always going to feel good, but this is important because how you see yourself today determines the thoughts that you have about you, the feeling that you hold about the concept of yourself, and then it impacts how you express life and how you behave. Broken and broke, okay? Emotional spender. Yeah, so anything that comes through. So if you're somebody who regrets making purchases, write that down. Do you return a lot of things? Do you ask for refunds? Marcia, write that down. Restricted. That's really good. Yeah. You can also put good things in there. So it doesn't just have to be bad. So Jerry, you're confident, right? Confident, right? Independent, like how you see yourself now. So put some good stuff in there too. Yeah, it doesn't have to be all bad. But what we're doing is we're pulling out the beliefs that you hold. So one of the things that I used to do is I used to go and buy a bunch of clothes, and I would put my pile of clothes together. Okay, these are all the items that I want. And then I would see what it would add up to at the till. And if it got to about $250, I would take stuff out. I would say, okay, well, I'm not going to get this and I'm not going to get this because I wanted to keep my price low. So this is what I want you to start to think about. How do you feel when you spend money? What is something that you are worried about? What are things that you complain about in your life? What do you complain about? This is really good. I get scared spending money. Tomorrow, we are talking about that topic. Fear around money. So we're going to talk about that a lot tomorrow. Yeah. I am happy spending money. Beautiful. Great. How are you at receiving it? You might say, oh, I love receiving money. I'm open to receive. Yet you're not open because you're not receiving. Right? I'm gifted in prophecy. Ooh, lovely. I like that. I love buying and spending, but feel guilty showing it off. Ooh, that is a good limitation. We got to get rid of that. What does it mean to show off your money? That comes from a belief of what? That you have more than others and you shouldn't have it. It's limiting you. Yeah, it's limiting you. Can't do that. How do you receive? We'll talk about that tomorrow. That money doesn't last. Okay, these are so good. Have to justify spending. Why? Why do we have to justify spending money? We make our money, we can spend it on whatever the heck we want. Right? So where does that guilty feeling come from? I stress when paying bills and spend too much in between to make up for the feelings of scarcity. Ah, Wendy, that's really interesting, right? So you feel scarcity and you feel stress paying your bills. So then you go and spend money to try to get rid of the scarcity around paying your bills. The one thing you want to get rid of is the scarcity about paying your bills, because it's a cycle. I spend money fairly easily and believe everything will work out in the end. So this is the other thing that I would pay attention to too. Do you believe that money comes and goes? Do you believe that you need to save money for a rainy day? That's another question. Do you believe that you always just have enough? Because always believing that you just have enough keeps you at having just enough. If you believe that you don't have enough, it keeps you at not enough. If you believe that there's always an overflow, there will always be an overflow. Yeah. You need to save money for surprise big bills. Ooh, my dad used to tell me, Kathleen, you got to have 6 months worth of your bills in your bank account at all times. 6 months, just in case. Oh no, we're not doing that anymore. We are not just in casing this. No. Why not? Why would I not want to have money in my bank account just in case? I want money in my bank account. I love having money in my bank account. I love having an overfilling bank account. But when you have money in your bank account for just in case, you're under the assumption that you're going to need it. And so then you are planning for a time when you will need it. Yeah, it's fear-based thinking. I can only make money through doing or earning it. Now, money, the law of compensation says that money is given to you and goes through you. You're the vessel for money. It doesn't become your money. It's just money in general. So don't call it your money, because when you call it my money, then you have ownership over it. It is just money that flows to and through you. And so you are a vehicle or a vessel for that money to move, to be circulated. It's an economy. You're part of that economy. But when we believe that it's limited in some way, we are not an open vessel, but we are resistance. We're a kink in the hose. So I think about the circulation of our blood that flows through our bodies. When we have a clog or a blockage in any of the circulation system, money doesn't flow through. So there is some sort of a blockage within your thinking that doesn't allow it to flow through. So for me, I have been in the pursuit of becoming a greater and grander version of myself that is open to receive more and more abundance. If I truly do believe that we are meant to be abundant and we are meant to be prosperous, if I truly do believe that it's my birthright, so to speak, Bob used to say that all the time, if I do believe what I teach, then I should be able to be open to receive higher and higher and higher in levels. So there should be no limit. There should be no stopping what I desire in the receipt of that money, right? So you guys can watch me over the next whatever years and see me allow myself to be open to receive. But here's the thing, it requires you to behave differently around money. It requires you to do different things with money, make different decisions. So remember when I said I'm bold and I'm daring? Right? I'm bold and I'm daring and I believe in myself and I take risks and I go after what I want. So I'm willing to do things that are according to what I teach. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that, you know, becoming a different version of myself is going to help make me more money and then not do that. I'm going to do that. So once I made $100,000 a month income, I changed my goal to $250 a month. Then when I did that, I changed my goal to $650 a month. Then when I did that, I changed my goal to $1 million a month. When I did that, I changed my goal to $2 million a month. So I'm climbing as well, and it's infinite. So I'm not like, okay, I'm good. No, that's not showing you guys what I teach. This is about truly believing and understanding that I can continue to expand and grow. And I can do it in an honest way, with integrity, with love, with gratitude, with joy, and help other people to do it for themselves too, which is really important. But I saw a question in the chat here that said, okay, so if we're infinite and we can make as much money as we want, why would we not just say we're billionaires? We're all billionaires. Let's go. It's all available. Let's do it. Because you won't believe it. The version of you that you are today, with the subconscious mind that you have, the patterns, the programs, the beliefs, what you've heard over and over and over and over and over again, will not believe it. It will be like, yeah, right. Even if you were like, no, I truly do believe it, it's possible for me and I'm just going to be a billionaire, you still have to become a different version of yourself. You have to become billionaire Kathleen. So you can't stay as the version that you are today and just continue doing the same thing, having the same thoughts, the same feelings, the same action, and nothing change. You have to become a different version. But the reason why we set intentions and the reason why we set things like goals, if you like that word, is because you need to climb in your belief. So you right now are more likely to believe that you can double your current income than 10 times it. See the difference? When you believe you can double it, then you're going to double it. But to go from here to suddenly I'm going to 10 times my income, here we go. It's all in your capacity to believe. How do you know what you believe? Are you in tune with yourself? So all the things that you wrote on the left side about now, those are all of your beliefs about you and about the world and about money. So now on the other side, who am I when I have more money? Who am I, this version of myself, who is open to receive this amount of money? What are some statements that you can think about? So where do we go to get this information, this version of us? We go into the fourth dimension, our imagination. So we have a higher intellectual faculty called the imagination, and the entire purpose of this imagination is to tap into a 3D existing world that isn't visible, called the fourth dimension. So it is a parallel reality that exists that you don't see with your own eyes right now, but it exists and we create from there. So the airplane was created there. It was created in the fourth dimension. It was visualized there. And then it was brought into the 3D physical world. So the version of you, and you can use the millionaire language if that feels good for you. When you're a millionaire, what's different? Maybe multimillionaire works for you wherever you are in your belief. So if you're a multimillionaire or you're a millionaire, what's different? What's different about how you see you? What's different about your identity, the concept that you hold? What's different in your business? What's different in your life? One of the things that was so powerful was when the business started to really take off at the beginning and I started to bring in more abundance into my life. We started having $50,000 months. Our furnace broke. And it was just like, yeah, okay, how much is it going to be? Sure, all right. Whereas 3 months before, if the furnace had broke, we would have probably got 3 quotes, found the cheapest one. Can we repair it and not get a new one? Like, how long could this last if we just repair it? And so it's a completely different experience. Like, and there is a place where you actually don't even know how much money you actually have. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's in my bank accounts. I don't look at it anymore. And there is moments in time in abundance and prosperity where money might disappear and you wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't even notice it. That's possible. Agnes, I will be able to breathe, which tells me you feel like you can't breathe right now. Right? So this is really good, the difference. And what is the connection between breath and money? Why is money impacting our breathing and our ability to breathe? Right? So there's a lot of words in here that are, what's the word I'm looking for? Restrictive, constrictive, limiting. Yeah. But they're all so good because this is how we shift it. I convinced myself I was a millionaire and the million came in 7 months. I convinced myself. Do you know what it means to convince yourself? Have you done this before? Let's think about this. Have you ever thought life into something so much that you convinced yourself it was true? Yeah. You can convince yourself of anything. Any idea held on the screen of the mind will harden into fact regardless if it's true or not. So you can tell yourself stories of success and inspiration and motivation and abundance and believe them, or you can tell yourself stories of why it's not working, how you're in lack and limitation, you don't have enough, you don't know enough, you're not good enough. How can we change our identity? The first thing in changing your identity, Teresa, is to become self-aware. How self-aware are you? Through introspection, you can become self-aware. So introspection means that you go within to ask yourself questions. So instead of asking, why is the world so hard on me? You ask, why am I so hard on me? That's totally different. We literally create our experience from the assumptions that we hold. Little example. So I am somebody that I hold a belief that when I go out for dinner, that my meal is always the way I order it. I do. I just hold that belief. I go to dinner and it's always amazing and it's how I ordered it. Very rarely do I get anything that comes back messed up. But there's a couple people in my life that every time we go to dinner, no matter where we go, their order is messed up. Interesting. And then they say things like, every time I go to dinner, they always mess up my meal. My steak never comes cooked the right way. They have assumptions. Yeah. And then they get mad and they send the food back. Yes, Gina, totally. It's an assumption. So this is where your attitude towards life will determine life's attitude towards you. That's an Earl Nightingale quote from Lead the Field. Beautiful. So what that means then, it's the same thing for money. the identity that you hold around money is determining where you're at right now. So some of you might feel like you don't have any and you're very limited. And then there might be some of you on here that are like, you know what? I do feel abundant and I do feel good and I am making good money. Okay, so then for you, the story is then how do we open the faucet even more? How can we have it where money comes to you easily, effortlessly, on a continuous basis, more and more and more, the more you grow and expand? So my mastermind and my one-on-one coaching clients, they're not starting at a point where they have zero awareness and understanding and have $0. They're at a point now where they've gotten to a limit and it's now time to expand past that limit. So people in my mastermind doing like 200K a month, $1 million a month on repeat. So it's really, really important to understand that it's all about how you see the world. It's all how you see yourself, your engagement with it, and how you feel about money. I know I deserve wealth. I'm an unshakable in this conviction. So deserving wealth and receiving wealth are two different things. So I know I deserve wealth and I know that I'm wealthy or that wealth is on its way, then it's different, right? Dora, interesting. How is that I can ask for almost any material thing but not cash or money? Example, diamonds. Have people invest 10,000 just on social media plus first class shares but not money? So interesting, Dora. So money comes in many, many different ways, and sometimes it comes through material things, but that tells me that the actual money or the bank account or there's something in your consciousness that's resisting the receipt of money. Let me tell you, my biggest cash day, I've had two, $400,000 in one day. I've done it twice. I was in flow. I wasn't trying to make money. I wasn't hustling or grinding. I was just open to receive, and I was just so happy and excited, and I felt like my absolute richest self. We're going to talk tomorrow. We're going to talk a little bit about fearing money, and then I'm going to switch us over into faith of the receipt of money and get into the fun part of money. And I'm going to tell you a couple of stories about some of my biggest purchases and some of the ways in which I've stretched myself to allow myself to receive more. Yeah, we'll talk about some of those stories tomorrow, Brianna. Yeah, they're fun. Yeah, but I want you to look at how you see money right now, and maybe even if I tell you those stories, you're going to have reactions within yourself probably as I talk about it. Like, how did it feel when you heard that I had a $400,000 day? What was your thought? Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. How did you do that? Asking the how is a pattern and program within the subconscious mind. I need to know the steps. I need you to tell me the exact steps. The exact steps is not what we want to do. We want to get into and build a consciousness of a multimillionaire, of a billionaire, and then the steps will come to you through your intuition. The bridge of incidents will unfold in the receipt of it. So we want to create a consciousness that forever till the end of time makes money in multiple different ways in anything that you do. So when you're looking for a business opportunity to help you make money and you're trying to find the right business or the right strategy, you're looking at the how, you're looking at the 3D physical world. Turn that around and go into you. I hold a belief now that I can move the energy of money no matter what I do. I can make money in anything. I truly do believe it now. So it's a consciousness, right? So when COVID came, there was people that were like, COVID, that's not going to impact me. I'm going to flourish. I'm going to grow. I'm going to expand. And then there was other people who were like, COVID, oh man, I guess I better pause. It's just a different way of being. It's a different consciousness. It's a different way of living within this world. It's your perception. It's your meaning. It's what you give it. I remember somebody sent me an article and they were like, Kathleen, like, look at this. It was an article that talked about the number of new millionaires last year. New millionaires. 5.2 million new millionaires. Can we fathom this? Like 5.2 million people became millionaires. And we're sitting here worried about paying our bills instead of becoming millionaires. Like, let's go. Yeah. Recession, what is that? According to who? Some of the richest, wealthiest people, they are raised and grown in recession, depression, and pandemics. It's a way of being. It's a way of existing. It really is. And it's a way of seeing yourself. Napoleon Hill, yes, right? Think and Grow Rich. So this is really, really impactful because there's a version of yourself that already exists, that has all of the abundance and the prosperity, that is living a beautiful life, but it's about you tapping into that version. So what I would suggest we do have homework for you, so we're going to post that in a couple of minutes, but this exercise of the now and the wealthiest version, whatever. So I actually called her Millionaire Kathleen. So I gave her a name. So you could give that version of yourself a name. I don't want to say that this is a future version of yourself, because when we say it's future, we keep it in the future. This is a version of you that already exists, already there. It's about bringing that version of you out. It's becoming aware of that version of you. So if you're somebody right now that works at a job that pays you a salary, you work for somebody else and you are paid a salary, your vehicle in which you receive your abundance through is limited. You are not limited, but you are limited by the vehicle in which you receive your abundance through. Will you need to make a new decision and to release that limitation? Yes, you will. You're not going to quadruple 10 times your income at the same exact thing unless it's possible for you to get all these promotions and all those things. But for the most part, what you're going to need to do is find a new job, become an entrepreneur, start working for yourself, start a business on the side. Like, you're going to have to choose a new vehicle. And if that scares the heck out of you, it's because you don't identify in that way. You just don't see yourself in that way yet. That's it. So become a version of yourself that believes in themselves, that is powerful, that is strong, that is bold, that can do anything they want, that can start a business, that can run their own business, that can sell, that can impact people's lives. Build that consciousness, build that belief. And next thing you know, you're going to be like, why the heck have I been working at this job for 25 years? My girl Kaylee, I'm sorry, I'm going to just call her out. She has owned a hair salon 14 years. Is that right? Yeah? 9 years. Okay. 9 years she has had a hair salon. And so that was her normal. She got used to it. Multi-million-dollar business owning a hair salon. So you would say she was successful, right? And then enter me into her life. She came, she does my beautiful hair. So anytime you guys see me on anything with this stunning hair, she's the one that does it. But we started working together and she started realizing that she didn't want to run a salon anymore. She wanted to be different and she wanted to do different things and she didn't feel very free. And so she is like, it's like the last day coming up soon of her salon being closed. Like, I'm so proud of you. You're so brave. But most people would just stay doing that because it's like my identity is built upon the idea that I do hair and I own a salon and I'm a business owner and this is what I do. And so we stay in that energy when it's not something that we actually really desire, that isn't setting our soul on fire, that isn't actually helping us to move into a better version of ourselves, the best of ourselves. And now she can build, for the rest of the life that she's here in this body, she can build a life that she loves, doing exactly what she wants to do. This is the key. So she will become wealthy in all ways, not just the one way. There are so many people that have so much money and they are so unhappy and they are unfulfilled and they fight with their family and their friends. It is so common. And so this is where I want us to have wholeness, wealth and prosperity in all areas. We want our relationships to be incredible. We want the way in which we see ourselves to be absolutely amazing. We want our businesses to be flourishing. We want the way in which we spend our days to be doing things that we love, that make us feel good, that inspire us. And we want to have bank accounts that we can be proud of. And spirituality does not mean lack and limitation. There is a lot of talk in the spiritual world about money. And there's this belief or this feeling that if you're really, really spiritual, that you then shouldn't want money. I actually see it the other way. I think the more connected I am spiritually, the more money I'm open to receive, because money is a spiritual idea. This is how I connect to it. What is the fastest way to change a belief? Dora, you're speaking my language. So listen, there is so many ways to change your beliefs. But I am a woman that likes to do things quickly. I don't want to work real hard. I don't want to hustle and grind. I don't want to get too much into the masculine of it. So you can, through constant spaced repetition, change a belief. Constant spaced repetition. So telling yourself something over and over and over again on repeat will change the subconscious mind. You can also use emotional impact. So the more emotional something is, the faster it'll reprogram your subconscious mind. So if you are really pissed off about something, it'll change you. If you get really emotional about something, it'll change you, change your beliefs. So my sister-in-law, she watched a documentary about the mistreatment of animals and became a vegetarian immediately. So that's just an example of changing a belief like that. She got emotionally involved, she didn't like it, changed her belief. So we can do that in the positive. Get so emotionally involved with a new idea that it changes you. So let's get really emotionally involved with the idea of being rich. Like really rich. Not just a little bit of extra money, but so rich that you're giving money away. So rich that you could right now just decide to go on a trip and just charter a private jet. So rich that right now you can fix your furnace if it's broken. So rich right now that you can go out for dinner and not even ask the price of the meal. Go buy a purse that you want. Go buy your kids whatever they want. Christmas time. What would it be like Christmas to just go out and buy your family whatever they want and not even worry about how much it costs? The more emotionally involved we get with that idea, the more we attract that idea. And so maybe you're somebody that resonates more with the idea of being able to give back. Use that. What would it be like to give back? But remember, through you becoming the best of yourself and becoming your most abundant and prosperous self, this is how you help others to become the best of themselves, to become their most abundant self. So when we just give somebody money, it will only last for as long as the money lasts. But when we teach somebody to make their own money, for a lifetime, they will learn how to make money. This is what we need to do. And so it's about us first learning, how can I be open to receive money? How can I become a version of myself that has more money? And then how can I teach other people how to make money? It's the analogy of, Oprah said that. Oprah says amazing things, doesn't she? That's the analogy of like teach a man how to fish versus give him a fish. Like teach a man how to fish. He'll fish his own life and can get his own food for the rest of his life. This is it. This is what we're doing here, is teaching how to be open to receive higher levels of wealth. It's a very, very beautiful place to be. So we have homework for tonight. We're getting up to 12 o'clock already. Man, I could do this all day. I love talking about this. So we have homework for tonight. So remember what we talked about. We are the versions of ourselves that persist, that do whatever it takes, that are committed. So we're going to do this. And if you can please, somebody, okay, there's the homework. Good. It's coming into the chat. Okay, so the homework is coming into the chat. This is an opportunity for you to write a letter to yourself from your wealthiest self. Okay, so this isn't a letter to money. We're not talking to money, we're talking to ourselves. So you'll see on the first page of this, let me just see if I can open it up. Can I open this? Yes, I can. Let me share my screen real quick. So you will see on the first page of this, write your money story. So my story date, this is something that you will be able to keep. I have every single journal that I've ever written in, any workbook I've ever used, every goal card I've ever had. I keep it all and I go back and look at the dates. So you could put today's date on there, the day, March 23rd, the day my life started to change, my money story started to change. And then we put some questions here for you to ask yourself, right? So what do I want? What do I wear when I'm my wealthiest self? How do I act? What do my days and my weeks look like? Where do I shop? Where do I travel? Where do I drive? So what we're doing is we're getting you to plug into the fourth dimension and ask yourself, who am I and who do I need to be when I'm my richest or wealthiest self? So in all areas, wholeness, you're happy, you're fulfilled, you're grateful, you're healthy, you've got loving relationships, and your bank account is full and booming. All areas, wholeness. And now you're going to write a letter to me. So you're going to write a letter from the version of yourself that you aspire to be to who you are today, right now. So to give you the dichotomy, I am, right now, let's say I'm functioning at a $20 million paradigm. Like the version of myself is $20 million Kathleen right now. My five senses would tell me that. However, I'm functioning as $100 million Kathleen. Right? So that's the version of me that I'm being every single day, is $100 million Kathleen. So I would write this letter, $100 million Kathleen, to the one sitting here right now. What would I say to her? Any of my team do the example of this? Did anybody on my team do this? Did they? I wonder. I guess that's a no. Oh, shit. Interesting. So what I would say for this letter is you want to say things like, you used to worry about money and where it was going to come from, and now it just shows up with ease and flow. You have a full bank account, you spend with ease. Like, you're talking to yourself from that place. So what would this version of you say to you today, right now? That's the letter. Any questions about the letter? Put it in the chat, please. I want you to be creative. Go with it. When we do, yes. Yeah, so please tag me if you're going to, if you feel called. The document is actually being shared right now in this chat. So if you look at this chat, you'll see homework, Rich's story. It's being posted over and over again. We will also put it into the Manifested with Kathleen Cameron Facebook group. And you can also reach out to anybody on my team. So check your email. If you got an email from my team, they send you an email just introducing themselves, saying they're here to support you and help you through the training. So if you need them to send you the PDF, they can absolutely send that to you as well. Or if you wanted to have a conversation, you can absolutely reach out to them there. And so Facebook group here right now, or through your success advisor. Okay, so 3 places you can get that. If you feel called to share about today, about your journey, about your thoughts, please tag me. I would love, love, love to reshare you onto my story. And if you feel called to share your letter, we will post them in the private Facebook group. Okay, so the Manifested with Kathleen Cameron Facebook group, if you feel called to share it in there, please use the hashtag riches so we can find it. Hashtag riches. You can print this out and write it on there. You can type it out. You can use a journal, whatever you want. Use a piece of paper. It doesn't matter. Oh, Jessie did hers. Jessie, gold star. She did hers and posted it in the group. Perfect. So feel free to be creative. Tomorrow, we are going to talk about where the fear comes from related to money. And I'm going to talk about accessing higher levels of wealth. And I'm going to tell you some of my stories around the ways in which I allow myself to be open to receive more, some of the fun things that I've done, especially tapping into a luxury mindset, what that means, what luxury means. And then on day 3, I'll answer questions. And then I will talk about any courses or programs that you have questions about too. We don't have everything open right now, but I'll tell you what we do have open. If you want to go, if you want to make it happen, we're here to make it happen with you. So, sound good? Any last minute questions?